Yes, hello, world changers. It's always such a beautiful moment to share insight, to share information, and then to just hear from you. I love hearing from you, okay? And even if you don't feel like it, don't worry, you are a life changer because some of us, situations beat us down and we just have the self-doubt, we don't have the confidence, and we just feel like, no, I can't be changing the world. You will be changing the world soon, or you are already changing the world without your knowledge. So today I want us to talk about a little bit of stubbornness. I know it's not something that is really commonly talked about, and it's not a trait that people attribute towards positivity. Usually everyone says stubbornness is a very bad trait. If you have a child, I know one or two times you've yelled at them and said, you're just too stubborn. But sometimes we don't know, we don't understand what it means to be stubborn. The reason as to why we call people stubborn is because they don't want to conform or to do the things that we want them to do. And so they keep doing something totally different. And because it's different, we deem it as negative or bad. But I think it's even a little child of 2 years knows what they want to do, what they don't want to do. And sometimes they can be just adamant and stubborn and say, I don't want to do this. But there's a quote I found that was really intriguing about stubbornness, and say that you don't stay undefeated if you don't have a certain level of stubbornness. Okay, because for the people that say I am undefeated, the people that keep bouncing back, that people that keep fighting in life, the people that keep, reaching out for their goals, the people that keep pushing hard even when things don't seem to be well, it's because they are riding against a tide. Okay, if you're riding with a tide, if the tide is going in the same direction you're going, it's so easy, like the surfers. You just put your board and then you just go with the tide and it takes you wherever it wants to take you. But if you are swimming against the current, that means you're putting extra effort. That means it's hurting. It's just not pleasant. But again, you know that it has a higher pay. Why? Because it's going to pay off in a huge way. Okay. So I wanted us to look at stubbornness, and I want us to look at stubbornness as one of the good things that we can actually do in life. And then when we talk about people who are stubborn, they usually have some 4 traits that I want us to talk about. Number 1, they have a very strong will. I know for sure that so many people in my life have told, my mother inclusive and my husband inclusive, have told me I have a very strong will. The reason as to why they keep telling me this is because if I set my head to do something, I either do it or do it. There's no two ways about it. Okay, if I want to attain a certain amount of money, I will work hard towards it. If I want to buy a certain plot of land, or to build a house, or to buy a car, there is nothing. And I've told them, and not just telling them with words but with my actions, that if I want something, and I know it's not insulting people, it's not stepping on people's toes, it's not going against God, it's not sinning, it's not, for as long as I want it and I set my mind to it, I will achieve it. Okay, now that has gotten me so far in life. It has landed me deals that I never thought I could have. I have been to places I never thought I would be. I have gotten things that I thought I would never get. But had I just folded my arms and just sat down and said, you know what, women are supposed to be given money, a man is supposed to give you, and you're supposed to just get married to a man from Kololo, sweep you over your feet and just take you to Muyenga or Kololo and then give you a nice house, a posh car. And then, no, I call that a prison. Okay, I call that a prison. I should be able to be in a mindset that is sober enough to be creative, to work, to earn money, and to make sure that I self-sustain. Now, if I get a nice husband, a rich husband, that is an added advantage. Okay, so I want you to get through this. If you are stubborn, one of the traits you will have is being just level-headed, okay, and just having a strong will. Now, a strong will, I know that at some point it can really be bad. I know some people that have said, oh, a strong will, like, no, if I'm determined to leave you, I will leave you. The thing is, by the time someone determines to leave you, it's because there are certain reasons as to why they are leaving you. Okay, so that means that should be discussed about. But I am telling you this from experience. If you want to be successful, and all the people that have been successful, they are strong-willed. If you talk about all the names, the tycoons that you know, if they tell you that, I started by selling trays of boiled eggs in town, it takes a strong will for you to carry a tray of boiled eggs and then go to construction sites and tell them, Toko kujirya ng'okujja ng'onsasudde sente. And then you will get that money. And it takes strong will to say, I'm not going to get this money to buy Nike shoes or sneakers. I'm going to reinvest it back into the eggs so that I can have more tray of eggs and grow my capital to a place where I can even borrow from the bank, to a place where I can build arcades, to a place where I can actually have estates and businesses that are flourishing. Now, that takes strong will. If you want to be successful, it takes strong will, okay? You just don't go with the current. Someone tells you, oh, let's go here. And then you also, where should we go? No, sometimes you have to look critically and say, no, I'm not going there. I'm taking my own direction, okay? And then stubborn people have resilience, a heavy amount of resilience. They bounce back. They're like a tenor. You beat them down and they will, you know, have you ever bounced a tennis ball? Okay, a tennis ball. When you bounce a tennis ball, sometimes if it is too pressured, you will never know which side it will come from. So you'll even go around and say, hey, where did it jump from? But it will jump back. Okay. Now, when you talk about resilience, all the people that have been successful in life are people that have been beaten by one situation, two situations, three, countless situations. But every other time a situation pulls them down, for example, I mean, the market gets burnt, all your capital has vanished, and all of a sudden you sit home and you're like, oh my God, everything perished in the fire. Now, please, everyone, just give me whatever, 2,000, 3,000, what? So you start doing nigina because you just don't feel like it. Or some people just get devastated. Some people get frustrated. They get depressed and they never bounce back. Now, this is what a winner does. This is a person that is undefeated does. Says that, you know what? Yes, I have lost the capital. I have lost the capital in the fire, but again, tomorrow I'm going to, very early in the morning, I will put on my clothes, I will do everything that I need to do, and I will show up in town, and then I can always either tell my friends to borrow me some of the merchandise they have so that I can sell and give them their money. I remain with the profit, and as I keep this profit and have more money. Do you see how people are being creative? Why? Because they are trying to bounce back. They're like, no, you have put me down, but it does not mean that I should stay down. Being undefeated does not mean that you're not beaten. Being undefeated means that you're beaten, you're put down, but you do not stay down. You just rise up and take off the dust and say, I must rise again. I must go. Have I been fired? Yes, I've been fired. Okay, maybe I know the reasons as to why I've been fired or how the job didn't work. But does it mean I'm going to sleep in bed for a whole year watching Nigeria and watching series? No. That means I'm going to wake up the next day like I have a job to go to. And then I will show up somewhere and say, you guy, do you have something to do? And then I will be there, do something. And before I know it, I'm earning some money or I'm getting connections, okay? So if you want to be successful in life, just develop your resilience levels and make sure that you say no, and let it be in capital and bold letters, and say, no, I am not staying where I am. No, I am not staying depressed. No, I am not staying in this lack. No, I am not staying. And I think I told us at some point where it was a very pivotal moment in my life where I made a decision and said I would never be broken in my life. I made a covenant with my God and said never in my life. I was at the bottom. I had crushed terribly. Like I had nothing, 0 coin to myself. I remember I had 200 shillings and I could only get carrots to eat. And then I said, never, this will never happen again. Now, at that moment, I even failed to eat the carrots. I cried my heart out. I made a covenant. And guess what? The next day, I put on and came to town to look for a job. Luckily enough, I actually got a job and started somewhere. That means the only way to get everything, and I want you to mark this, the only way to get everything that you will ever want in life is go and ask for it, look for it, launch out, okay? Just don't stay where you are in your comfort zone and just stay, all things are good. And then the people that are undefeated have a very good attitude, a passionate attitude. Like when they are passionate about something, they're really passionate. If you're passionate about music, if you're passionate about any kind of work, be it life coaching, be it your accounting, I've seen people who are really passionate. So be very passionate about what you do, and you are going to be very successful in life. And last one, but not the least, is a good work ethic, okay? Because there is nothing that is going to come on a silver platter. You have to work for everything. It has to be sweat. It has to be work. If anyone else tells you about about passive income. Get it from me. Passive income, that someone is seated on a beach somewhere with a laptop and money is just dropping in their accounts and dropping in their accounts, and then they are not telling you what they did for that money to drop in their accounts. Then they are selling you a lie, and they are faking you, and they just want to take their money. The reason as to why anyone will sit anywhere, because I have worked in this. I mean, I have sold courses online, and meanwhile, I am sleeping at 3 a.m., but money is just streaming into my account in dollars, in yen, in all currencies. But the reason as to why it happens like that is because I worked for it. I sat down on a camera, I did my research, I talked to people, I made a course, I created a course. So that means I put in sweat and work, and now I am being paid for what I did. Okay? So people don't smile and get money. They don't smile and earn money. No, they work and get money. There is no shortcut. If anyone else ever gives you a shortcut, then that person does not wish any good for you. Okay, so I should be out of here, but stay undefeated and make sure that you stay on top of your game. Be resilient and be of a strong will and be stubborn, because it's necessary for you to be successful.